And welcome back to the Paddy Power Sports Network. I'm Pat Williams. He's Kenny White. Let's talk Saturday NBA playoff basketball. Let's go to Atlanta, where the Indiana Pacers, Kenny, down to one must-win situation. And the numbers are the Pacers laying 1.5 on the road. 186.5 is the total. The Pacers have fallen. Can they get up?
You know, Pat, I'm amazed with this team because they had such a great start to the season. I think they exerted a lot of energy early in the year. Not like the Miami Heat, who have paced themselves all season, but the Heat exerted so much, the Pacers exerted so much energy early, I think they wore themselves out in the second half of the season. I'm really surprised, though, that they're not able to get up off the mat against the Atlanta Hawks.
The Atlanta Hawks, a sub-500 team in the regular season, really have controlled this series, now up 2-1.
Yeah, you know, I watched the Atlanta Hawks several times this year, and I try to watch each team about 4 or 5 times. Every time I watched the Hawks, they were miserable. I watched them in the game that was over the pond. They got crushed by the Nets. I watched them against San Antonio when San Antonio had 4 starters out, and San Antonio crushed them by 30 that night. And there were several other nights. I just thought Coach Budenholzer really did a poor job with this team, but they are playing good basketball right now at the right time.
And all that matters is how you're playing right now. And speaking of how you're playing right now, the Indiana Pacers, Kenny, 6-22 against the spread in their last 28 road games. How do we bet on this team in this spot besides the obvious fact they have to win?
That's a stat attack, and that's a stat attack on the Pacers. They have just been so poor since the All-Star break. They are in a must-win situation. They are the better basketball team. Can they pull it together? Their coach is on the hot seat. Vogel could be gone. Even if he wins this series, he could be gone. So questions everywhere, but I've got to go with the better team. I have not destroyed their power rating enough that they're still should be at least a 4 to 4.5 point favorite over the Hawks on the road.
I hear you taking the Pacers.
I'm on the
laying
Pacers.
The 1.5.
I'm scared, but I am.
All right, let's go to the second game in our segment. The San Antonio Spurs travel not very far to Dallas to take on the Mavs. The Spurs favored by 3.5 points. Kenny, 202 is the total. Boy, this team looked bad in game 2.
Well, amazing. Dallas broke a 9-game losing streak versus San Antonio, so a very important game for them. Their defense has finally shown up, a team that was 22nd in the NBA this year in terms of points per possession allowed. And Rick Carlisle is a defensive coach for Dallas, so he finally got the word across. If you're going to win, you need to play defense, and they did, and that's how they beat San Antonio.
All right, this Spurs team, we know they're deep. We know they're a veteran group. Many of the players on that team with 4 championship rings. Dallas, with nothing to lose, playing very loose. Kenny, I took the total over 198 when it opened in game 2. It got bet up. Now I see another total of 202. I've got a Dallas team that's an over team at home. I got a Spurs team that's an over team on the road. I'm not picking your game, but I got a feeling there's going to be a lot of scoring in this one.
Well, you know, it's amazing. The professional bettors have been right on this total. Game 1 actually opened 205, was bet down to 201.5, way under. And you're right, Game 2 opened 198, bet up to 201.5, goes way over. This one, very little action on. There was a little under action on this game, so I can't blame you being over because they are both very good scoring teams. But I say San Antonio comes back to get that home court edge. They are the best team in the NBA right now, record-wise. Talent-wise, they're probably one of the top 3 teams in the NBA, and they're better than the Dallas Mavericks.
You're laying the 3.5.
I'm actually going to buy it down to 1.5.
Wow.
I'm going to cross 2 key numbers, 2 and 3. I'll lay $1.50. It's kind of like laying a money line. I'll give up the 1 in that game. Games don't fall 1 very often, so I'll take the chances on this one.
Great stuff from professional bettor Kenny White. As always, good luck on your selection Saturday. NBA playoff action.